Have you ever been puzzled by how variables behave in Python, especially when using try and except blocks? If so, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of variable scope in Python. I totally get it. It can be really confusing when your code seems to work in ways you didn't expect. You're not alone in this. Many programmers have faced similar questions about variable scope. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, why can I use variables defined in a try block outside of it, even in a while loop? This is a great question and one that many Python developers wonder about. So what's happening here? In Python, the scope of a variable defined in a try block is not limited to that block. Instead, it can be accessed outside of it, as long as the variable is defined before any exceptions occur. And stick around. At the end of this video, I'll share a handy tip that will help you manage variable scope like a pro. To understand how variable scope works with try and except blocks in Python, let's first clarify that variables defined inside a try block are accessible outside of it, as long as they are defined before the code execution reaches the end of the try block. In the user's code, the variables width and height are defined within the try block. If the user inputs valid integers, these variables are assigned values, making them accessible after the try block. If an exception occurs, the except block will execute, but the variables width and height will still exist in the local scope. However, they will not have been assigned any value if the exception was raised before they were set. In the user's case, if they try to print width and height after the try except structure, they will only be able to do so if the try block executed successfully at least once. Otherwise, a name error will occur. To summarize, the scope of variables in Python allows for access outside of try blocks, but it's essential to ensure they are assigned values before trying to use them. This is a key aspect of understanding variable scope in Python. Fun fact, Python's variable scope can sometimes feel like a magic trick. Variables appear and disappear based on where you look, but don't worry, we'll make it clear. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user explains that to create a new scope in Python, you need something stronger than a try block, like a function or a class. They illustrate this with a code example where variables width and height are defined outside of any try block, allowing them to be accessed later. Here's the tip I promised. Always be mindful of where you define your variables. Understanding scope can save you from unexpected bugs and make your code cleaner. And there you have it. Now you understand how variable scope works with try and except blocks in Python. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more programming tips and tricks.